Okay, guys, we're going to start the AMA today. Welcome, welcome. I am the community manager for the SUPA Foundation. My name is Princeton, also known as Super Dog. And both of here, my colleagues, Brian and Brian, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm sure you know me by now. I'm Brian, also known as Encore. And yeah, basically I'm the CTO and CEO for Super Foundation.
And next we have is Andy,
Hi
our
guys, I'm Andy, also known as Lola Bunny. Basically, I'm the lead design on the game and the metaverse as well.
okay. Well, that's about for introductions. For those new here and have just joined us, once again, I'd like to welcome you all to our AMA. So, first question today we have is from H. All right, this is a more personal level question for Encore, Brian. So, this question is more of a two-parter. First question he said you mentioned that you have 15 years experience in coding and have developed various applications. So, his part one of the question to you is what languages do you program in, and are any of these projects you've taken part in well known or successful, or are they just personal developments?
Yep, so thanks for the question, H. In terms of the programming languages I've worked with in the past, in terms of the backend languages, I've used Golang, um, JavaScript, which is Node.js, and PHP. And front end development languages I've used is like JavaScript, even the Dart framework that we use for mobile development in Flutter, and more recently Solidity, which is obviously for the smart contract development. I'm also learning Rust. In future we may have to use Rust because other blockchains such as Solana and Polkadot use them as well. Um, as for whether I've used any of them in previous projects, yes, but they're more of just personal projects, and none of them were like well known in the industry. They're more of hobby sort of pastime sort of projects.
See. So, well, can see that Brian over here has quite a bit of a development skills in a lot of different. I would say a lot because I think I don't have that many as well on me. Almost close to none. So the second part that H would like to ask is, how come have you not chosen to pursue a career in development? And you because you mentioned that you're a medical practitioner.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if all of you remember. This is obviously some of you might may be too young to remember the dot-com bubble, but that was when I was going to decide on what to pursue at that age. Um, I guess I took the more conservative approach, with me having multiple interests in lots of different things, one of them being programming as well. But I chose to do something interesting, becoming a doctor, and I've done it for 7 years. But right now, I feel life is too short. There's lots to do in life, and I have other interests to pursue, and one of them is obviously developing my own project, um, which is why we developed the Super Foundation, and this is the path we're planning to pursue in the future. So yeah.
Yeah, wow. I guess being a doctor under your belt is also a very good, very good hands-on since we're doing a virus NFT. So some of the, the what you call it, the lingo can be used in game as well. So you might see a bit of similarities here and there, right, Ryan?
Yeah, definitely, but we'll make it not too, jargon heavy. That way, it's still light for everyone and it's still fun. So, yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah,
fully make sense to be honest.
yeah, very true, very true. So, all right, on moving on to the second question. Second question is thrown to us by Tossico. So he says, "Hello. After going through the light paper, I can somewhat get a sense of what the gameplay would be like, but would be more of a tabletop card game like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. or if it will be a more roguelike card play like Slay the Spire and Griftlands. So he's looking forward to know more about the game.
All right, so in terms of gameplay, I would say it's more towards Magic the Gathering, rather than roguelike gameplays like Slay the Spire, Griftlands, and also Axie Infinity. It will be more, yes, tabletop like, where you play your cards based on the cost, and in addition to that, what makes it unique is that once you place these cards, you can actually move them on the board. There will be a battlefield involved, so it's not just about playing the right cards at the right time. It's also using your cards for the right things. So yeah, there is depth to it, but not as complex as Magic or Hearthstone would be.
Ah, okay. So we can expect something of simple gameplay, yet more engaging. Like I mean, simple gameplay. Like what games would be simple? Would you say like
Something like Plants vs Zombies.
okay, Plants vs Zombies. So Plants vs Zombies X Magic the Gathering, right?
Yeah, more or less correct.
More or less. Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Would love to see that. Next question is by Marv Aid. Okay, so he'd like to know what is likely the price per SVU for the IDO sales, and also what's the listing price going to look like.
Yep. Thanks for the question, Marvin. So the S Field is actually our in-game sort of one of our in-game utility. I guess you can call it currency or token. But actually, our main token that we plan to actually sell during IDO is the Super token, and we are looking at. So this is yet to be finalized, but we are looking about 10 cents per token per Super token for the IDO, and for pub so listing it'll be around 12 to 13 cents. Yeah, somewhere around that figure. I hope that sort of answers the question.
Yeah, I hope too that the price will go more than 10 or 12 cents, but that's a good reasonable number to think. I mean to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, another question from Irondale. In the first AMA, you said the gameplay will be of a card game with element of tower defense. I really like the idea because it is not often seen. Can you tell us a little more? Also, a card game like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone are very deep and complex game. Will the game be more casual? So I guess you can answer the first one first.
All right. So in terms of card game and element of tower defense, it would be something like what I mentioned earlier. It would be quite likened to Plants vs Zombies. So you play the cards onto the battlefield, and then depending on which side you're playing, either the virus or the supercells. So the supercells would be, of course, playing the defense portion, whereas the virus will be playing the attack portion. So yeah, while games like Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone are quite deep and complex, our game will find a balance between the complexity that Magic the Gathering has and the simplicity that Plants vs Zombie has as well. So it's semi-casual, I would say. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So semi-casual. That'll
Yeah,
be
in terms of length of the gameplay, per gameplay, we're targeting maybe about 10 to 15 minutes because it'll be on a mobile as well. We're also looking into developing different types of gameplay within the game that might suit different players. Yeah,
ah,
but the core of it would be a PvP based game in about 10 to 15 minutes.
I see. So a PvP game that is around 10 to 15 minutes. So it wouldn't take too much of your time, when you're on the go, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. Irondale also asked, do you plan some PvE?
At the moment, we have no plans for PvE yet. The PvE will only be the basic tutorial, where you guide our players through the game on how the gameplay works in order for them to go out and play with other players. But beyond that, there is no plans for PvE yet. However, we will open a poll in the future, and if there is demand for PvE, we will develop this into the game as well.
Cool, cool. So no plans now, but maybe on in the future when we do the polls, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's cool. So on to our next question. Tom the Ato. So he asks, what's your plan for the in-game world? Is there going to be a menu-based or interactive world outside of the card battles for players to access what they are looking for?
So for this, we do have a base of operations as well, which we will elaborate more, of course, once the game is closer to launch. But apart from just gathering resources to buy more cards for the, because essentially this is a card game, right? So in addition to just purchasing cards and using your cards in game to win games, there are other items as well in game. There are other elements and features as well.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
Cool.
so
I guess.
I think a way to sort of elaborate the what we're going for is this card-based game is just the first game of many within the metaverse. Over time, we plan to expand our metaverse based on storytelling, and this will expand to many other different planets as well, and we'll be developing more games within the same metaverse. So yeah, so lots of things planned in future.
That's cool. I guess this. I'm not guessing. I mean, this project is going to have a lot of things going on. Card games. Battles versus players, access. I guess there's a lot more to be thought of into this, right, Brian?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
apart from the card-based PvP game, we also planning to have I believe Andy sort of briefly mentioned, so everyone will have their own environment as well, where others can visit, um, where they can store their own aesthetics and their own items in their own space as well. Yeah, that's planned as well
I
in the
see.
future. Yeah.
I see. Okay. I guess we will look forward to that UI, that that interface for everyone. All right. So for the next question by Nick J31. So she asks, I want to know how you plan to implement the S Field tokens in the in-game facility and how we can earn more tokens through game participation and other stuff planned.
Yep. So the SU tokens will be used to redeem in-game items. We've yet to finalize what they are exactly, but they will be limited edition items. Some of which will be just aesthetic items that will be limited in number, that will be resellable in the secondary marketplace as well. But the aim of the SU app has always been a loyalty-based program rewarding active members. So to earn more SU tokens, all you have to do is just grow your team in the app. As for the numbers, I think I just read H's questions, like how much SU is required for what. So it will be sort of tier based as to what sort of you can redeem based on the number of SU tokens, and you should be able to decide your own allocation and the availability of the in-game item later on for you to redeem. Um, and once it's run out, it's run out.
I see, I see. So you heard that, guys? You have to grow your team. Keep inviting and grow your team to be as big. Get more SU tokens. All right. And then we have some more new questions from H. He says it's not a question, but more of a suggestion. He thinks that we should definitely commission an artist to come up with distinct pictures for our Discord profiles. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, it's a good
Sounds
idea.
like a good plan. Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Any
Yeah,
suggestions? You
yeah,
guys can post your suggestions on what we should look like on Discord. Just an avatar or our own viruses or supercells. Yeah,
yeah,
you guys can give some suggestions as well.
yeah. You can give us any suggestions. We will gladly take it up. But for the Discord pictures and Discord profiles, yeah, I think we need to look into that, right? Okay, so on to the next one. Manish asks, Is S Fuel an in-game token like how we have Sweet Love Potion in Xe?
Do you want to take this, Andy, or it's up to you?
I would say that it's different. It's not the same as how the smooth love potion works. Yeah, but more to come when closer towards launch. But it doesn't work the same way. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
So, my understanding is the SLP, the way one of the functions it does is it also helps with their sort of breeding mechanism. Our intention is to use our own super tokens for breeding, and this super tokens we burn each time we have our own fusion mechanism. So it'll be slightly different, actually. Yeah.
this will be the super token and not the S Fuel token, right?
No, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. 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 So next one by Danish Sharif, Funky Punks. So he's just curious if it is possible to combine all teammates S Fuel into one account.
Yeah. So right now, the way you build a team is by referring others. What we plan to do in the near future is perhaps we can allow adding other people who have already joined, but they will come under your friends list rather than your team. Your team is built upon referrals and referees. That way, we could this the reason why we do this is more of a sort of a boost based mechanism for your S fuel collection rate. By just randomly adding pre-existing users, it sort of would make things sort of for the boost mechanism would make things the mechanism itself would not work as what we've envisioned really. So yeah, we can add a mechanism for you to add your pre-existing other friends, but they won't come under your team per se.
I see. So we can add more people, but not under your team. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds cool. All right. H asks another question. As you have mentioned, all have full-time jobs. At what point do you think you'll step back from these jobs to focus more on the project at hand? That's one. So yeah, anyone want to take this?
Yeah, so we all have full-time jobs, as you mentioned. We spend the rest of the time, apart from outside our jobs, we spend on the project. When we plan this, put it 100%, is um, yeah. So it's it what we plan to do is once we launch the tokens in December, we should have enough funds for us to actually quit our job and focus on this 100%. So that's it. Hopefully, if everything works well in December, um, yeah. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah,
And as for the
stay tuned,
second
man.
part,
Yeah,
yeah,
do you have any plans to try to gain more partnerships or investors in the near future? That's what H
yeah.
asked as well.
So I'll answer this as part of our update later. I'll answer this question when we delve into all the updates we have for you guys shortly.
Yeah, guys. So stay tuned to our Discord channel, our Twitter, as well as our Telegram and Reddit. Our Reddit is purely moderated by our very own moderator, Kukoi. So you guys can have a look at
And
the Reddit account, Reddit subreddit. Yeah. Oh, another question though by Kiran Vishwa. Uh, I'm so sorry, but I don't really know the full part of the question. He says, so how much S fuel is required?
yeah, so again, it will be determined at the point. I think this goes well with the question asked by Manish. Does S-field farming stopped? Will it be stopped after the game release? And the answer is yes. We once before the game is released, we'll stop the S-field program. So it'll be a finite number, and based on this, it will be a tier-based reward system for in-game claims, and there will be a limited number for people to be able to claim. This is just to reward the early members, really.
I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this S fuel tokens are mainly to reward the OGs in this in our game, right? The in game, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Uh, Question by Toshiko. You mentioned the dot-com boom earlier. Does the current tech landscape with the decentralized internet feel very similar to what happened in the 90s? And do you think it could also potentially turn into a bubble in the economic context?
Um, Honestly, I think there's always a possibility, especially if things grow too fast, too quickly. Um, for example, back in the 90s with the dot-com bubble, what people the seed investors did was, people could raise millions overnight, just putting in money for things that weren't substantial or yeah, basically it was just poor planning. So it is always possible, but I think what needs to happen is just uh, over time, like the internet, like what happened in the end is over time adoption will grow, and so in the longer term, I don't think this will be a bubble. I think it will be more widely adapted, and yeah, we should see the crypto being here for a long time.
Yeah, I think decentralized finance and the crypto won't be of a boom. It will more of be a growing. It won't be a bubble only. It's going to stay for a very long time, right?
Yeah,
So, Manish asks, does S fuel farming be stopped after game release? Sorry, I think you answered that earlier.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Suhas asks, is S fuel tokens only earned by mining, or are there more options to get them?
Yeah, at this stage, it's only done through visiting your SEO app daily and just checking in. As to ways to other options, we are planning to launch a mini game between the launch of our actual game and between that and the initial NFT sales, and between the NFT sales and the game, we are planning to release a mini game. However, we plan to actually release this thing called elements, where you can wage amongst each other, and these elements will be able to earn you packs. So that's more for elements. So I don't think we'll be using S fuel as the wager for this mini game.
All right. Cool. I guess there wouldn't be any wagering using these S fuel tokens. Uh, Next question, Danish Sharif. Is there a way I can team up now with other of my friends who aren't showing in my team? Become because my team boosted. I'm so sorry, I'm reading this wrong, I think. Who aren't showing in my team become because they weren't able to use my referral. In Telegram, I heard that we won't be hosted for S fuel generation, but there is a way to team up. Is there a way to team up?
Yeah, so I think we've already discussed this. What we can do is we'll let you guys add your friends into contacts. Um, that way you can stay updated with one another, but um, it won't be boosted. Basically, you won't be part of your team for the boost functionality, but they'll still remain in your list of friends. You can add them later. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So we can actually add more people later on, though they didn't join early. Cool. Uh, so I guess this is the last question from Manish. I'm curious to know on which launchpad will the IDO be helping or help? Yeah, be help.
Beheld, I think. Yeah, so the
Help?
launchpad we're
Help,
planning
yeah.
to use is Cyberfi. Um, there were considerations of using more than one launchpad. Um, there are pros and cons to this. Um, the major sort of technical challenge is making sure the IDO process runs very smoothly because there are lots of previous occasions there where when we launch tokens cross-chain, liquidity will be affected, um, based on the pricing, and it can become a huge mess really. So what we plan to do is have one strong IDO launch and take things from there really. So one with CyberFi and we'll see how we hopefully that will be sufficient and we don't need another launchpad IDO elsewhere.
I see. Cool. So our launchpad it will be CyberFi. We have already signed a contract with them, and let's hope all the best for our IDO, right, Brian?
Yeah, um
Yeah. So
so at this stage I guess we've it's been like what 2 3 weeks since we had our last AMA. So we just wanted to give you guys an update of what we've actually been working on in the background. Firstly, our supercells, we have the drafts ready and waiting for the final version that should happen very soon. We'll share this as soon as it's ready. Secondly, as we've previously touched on, we're working on a new portal. This portal will serve as a new place for you to collect your SEAL and also build your team, but also be a place for you to collect your NFTs during NFT giveaways, um, and also view your NFT collection. And this will also be the platform for your secondary marketplace when it goes live. And also speaking of NFT giveaways, as we previously mentioned, we'll be giving away our OG NFT. This will not be the virus or supercell, but this NFT will have in-game utility. But we are also excited to share today with you today, for those attending, that we'll be releasing our Metaverse comic series in the form of collectible NFTs. We plan to do for these to be free, and and this will be in the form of giveaways after completing certain tasks. So for the first NFT for our comic series, all you have to do is have at least three members in your Superfuel app. So three in a team, so two plus one. So one of yourself and two others, and also in just invite two of your friends to Discord as well. We'll keep an eye on the invite logger for this. And lastly, in terms of where we are up to currently, we are only 2 weeks away from our token IDO launch, which is pretty close. In the meantime, we're actually establishing relationships with other projects and communities. Um, and if all works out well, we should be able to announce these partnerships really soon. And these partnerships will actually help our community grow further, because we'll be engaging with pre-existing communities, strong ones as well. We're also meeting with and hoping to build strong relationships and partnerships with some key seed investors well known in the industry to help boost consumer perception. But in the meantime, we continue to ask you if you could just remain active on social media, spread the word of SUPA Foundation to the world, and yeah, we'll keep you guys updated very soon.
yeah, yeah, cool. We always spread the word, keep our project growing, and you will see a very, 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 very unique game. I guess not really unique. I'll say a very exciting, not only unique, like exciting and unique game. Where it's a mix of a tabletop and also a tower defense, where it's semi-casual. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that comes to the end of our AMA session. Brian, Andy, you got anything else to say? last words for our listeners?
Yep. So we may not appear, we might appear a bit quiet on Discord, but we're actually working hard in the background. We're actually having quite a few meetings actually this upcoming week with to build partnerships. Um, and we'll we'll be announcing these partnerships when they become sort of formalized. Um, Keith, is Keith all good? Yes, this is good. Um, Keith is just busy. I guess he's and the issue is the time zone really. His yeah, he's at the other side of the world. So we 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 mostly mostly most of the time he'll just catch up with us when we have important updates. But um, the core right now is the right now there is the three of us, and we plan in future to further grow our team as well in terms of building our team and having more members on the team. Yeah, that's where we're up to at the moment.
Yeah, super sweet. Yes, that's the end of our AMA. I saw Crip JJ. Yeah, you entered and you caught the tail end. Hopefully, you heard the rest. I We will be posting the audio on our Twitter again, just in case some of you want to re-listen to what we have said for today, and for any news and updates in the Super Foundation. We will be continuously updating. Anything, you can always go to my main man H and Kukoi. Those two are the awesome moderators. We just got them on board. These two are really, really good at maintaining the activity over here. And okay, H, I guess you are more awesome. I know. I gotta say, both of you are just really, really good in this server. Yeah, and I can't thank you all enough for coming in and joining to listen to us. Answer your questions and give you a very clear update about our project. Hope to see you guys soon. Catch our next AMA, or maybe do you think we should do another game night, Brian, Andy? What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we should have another game night.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
aim
yeah,
for
yeah.
sometime next week. Yeah, yeah, this upcoming week.
That is true. That is true. We gotta get one. We gotta get one running again. So yeah, I'll plan one again with Andy and Brian, and we will see you guys there. Remember to stay super and stay awesome.
All right,
Well,
thanks guys.
HH is
Catch you guys
most
soon.
awesome. Yeah, man.
Thanks,
Catch you guys soon.
guys. Appreciate your
Thanks.
support and time.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you all. Thank you all. Gotta say thanks, Mickey, Mahira, Manish, Nick J31, Danish Sharif, Suhas, Tosiko, Vaishnav, Raju. Thank you all for supporting. Thank you all for being here today. And I'm gonna wish you all good day and good night.